On Tuesday, April 20th, 1999, I was getting ready to leave my downtown office when I saw the light message flashing on my phone. It was my husband. He was calling from his home office. "Susan, this is an emergency. Pick up immediately." The level of pain in his voice could only mean one thing. Something had happened to one of our sons. In the seconds that passed as I picked up the phone and dialed our house, panic swelled within me. When my husband picked up the phone, he had informed me what he had just learned from the school. There had been some kind of shooting at the school. The gunmen in black trench coats were firing at people. The school had all the kids accounted for, except for one named Eric. And my son. In 2025, there were 141 instances of school shootings, in which 44 deaths had occurred. Typically, we think of the mothers of the victims. But what about the mothers of the shooters? They must watch as their child becomes someone they themselves don't even recognize. How is one meant to cope with this? I Will Never Know Why, by Susan Keebold. Maybe nowhere knew where Dylan was because he had been shot himself. Maybe he was lying somewhere in the school, injured or dead. I mean, how could we even think for a second that Dylan could shoot someone? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But the more that I thought about it, I couldn't dismiss the possibility. I knew that Dylan had disliked his school for some time now, and that he had spent much of the past few days with Eric, and him and Eric were missing now. I couldn't deny that they might be involved in something bad together. I don't remember how or when, but it was confirmed that Dylan and Eric had killed 13 people and injured 24 others before taking their own lives. I mean, as a young child, Dylan, he made parenting so easy. He was so driven to win. But by Dylan's senior year, it was evident that he didn't like school anymore. He was quiet. He grew irritated so easily. I mean, one day in April, I asked if he wanted to talk about going away for college, and he said that I definitely want to go away. If that was a reference to anything more, then I didn't know. On April 20th, I was getting ready for work when I heard Dylan bound down the stairs and opened the front door. All he said to me before he left was, "Bye, Mom." The front door slammed shut and his car sped down the driveway. It took around 6 months for the sheriff's department to begin releasing some information of what happened that day. During those 6 months, Dylan's friends and family, we were in denial. I mean, we didn't know that he and Eric had assembled a mass arsenal of guns and explosives. He was a good kid. None of us could think that he intended to do what he did that day. I mean, yeah, he had filled notebook pages with his private thoughts and feelings expressing profound alienation, but we hadn't seen those writings until 6 months later. During these months, I was nearly insane with sorrow for the suffering that my son had caused. And with grief for the child that I had lost. I perceived myself to be a victim. I didn't have that comfort from the community. Most of them, they saw me as a perpetrator or at least an accomplice because I was the person who raised a monster. Those of us who still cared for Dylan, we tried to figure out where we went wrong. I rethought every conversation over and over again. I mean, had I pushed too hard, not hard enough in the days before he died, if I had just hugged him and told him how much that I loved him. If I had held his sketchy face between my palms and said I was so proud of him. Would this still have happened? I will never be able to explain or excuse what he did. Dylan changed everything. Everything I believed about myself and about love.